One, two, 3, 4. Welcome to the church with 2 drink minimum. Welcome to the church with 2 drink minimum. We are Interfaith, Interspiritual, God optional. So relax and get ready for a celebration. Welcome to the church with a 2 drink minimum. One more time now. Welcome to the church with a 2 drink minimum.
Doggies.
I couldn't help it.
I know.
With the lighter that was.
It was no. We had a little mini concert here before.
Yeah, we had a little mini concert.
You show up early and we'll dance with you.
Yeah.
How about that?
Wow, extra light for the light.
I know you having a good day. It's a 12 inches. We got 12 inches of snow and it's
Really?
24 degrees here.
Mm.
It's like we had like, but it's New York snow, so people, just so
they cleared out pretty.
Yeah,
quickly.
they pretty out. So it's all stacked on this. It's all stacked on the intersections. So in order to get into the thing, you like go up a hill and then down, and then down into the street. And then you go to the thing and it goes up and then down again. Right? I know we do because the songs just keep playing if you don't pay attention. It's like on video on YouTube. If you don't do it, you have to. It'll just keep playing, and then before long.
Let's say hi to everybody.
How is everybody? Welcome to
Arizona.
Sundays.
Hi everybody on the radio.
I know.
Hi Sina. We're just so happy to be here.
I know.
What a lovely morning in the sanctuary.
It's going to be a good day when Yolanda says, "I think I'm wearing red today. I think I'm gonna wear red." So it's a good mood. It's a good mood, right?
And,
all right,
Arizona,
thanks for the kisses.
Thank you, Arizona. And your hair looks so cute today. Your little pigtails. It's adorable. I know, it's so cute.
She's giving us junior high school real loose.
Oh, it's adorable. Adorable. Well, I just, we have a lot to share and we're gonna get at it, but
and red lipstick.
And red lipstick, of course.
That red lipstick.
But I just wanted to say how impactful Reverend Jacqueline's message was for me personally this morning. And so impactful, as a matter of fact, I stopped everything and took notes.
I know. She pulled up the...
I was like, woo, I got to take notes. And I'm going to share a couple of things that I took down during our meditation time today because it just really meant an awful lot to me. So thank you, our dear, wonderful Reverend Jacqueline. And now, one thing, of course, that she reminded me of, because she was playing Let It Be, is that we haven't sung this song in a little while yet.
And it's just perfect for the message today. And we're going to be building on that theme. What are the odds that today's message builds on the theme that we've already started? Because we're all on the same page, and we're all like I said, we're all walking home together, right?
Oh gosh,
I know.
It's just making so much more sense.
Yes.
Okay, so
it's an oldie but a goodie, and I think you know it.
Here we go. Let things be.
I let things be
exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
You can't change me.
You can't change me.
And you can't change.
'Cause you can't change God.
So let things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
And you and me.
So you and me.
We'll live in peace.
We live in peace.
Well, I don't know what anything is for.
What anything is for.
Unless I listen to that still small voice.
I have a still small voice.
Telling me.
It's telling me.
This simple truth.
This simple truth.
that everything
is
for my
everything
good.
is for my good.
So let things be.
I let things be
exactly as they are.
exactly as they are.
You can't change me.
You can't change me.
And you can't change
'Cause you can't change God.
So let things be.
I let things be
exactly as they are.
exactly as they are.
And you and me.
So you and me
will live in peace.
we live in peace. Favorite
I'm not
verse.
this body.
I'm not this body
that you see.
that you see.
Although it's a bit
Voluptuous and beautiful.
I am as God.
I am as God
created me.
She created me.
And we are all. One family.
One family.
And it's possible.
Yes, it's possible.
To live in peace.
It's possible to live in peace, y'all.
So let things be.
Let things be
exactly as they are.
exactly as they are.
You can't change me.
You can't change me.
And you can't change
'Cause you can't change God.
So let things be.
I let things be
exactly as they are.
exactly as they are.
And you and me.
So you and me
will live in peace.
we live in peace. Kumbaya.
Wow, what a perfect day
I
for
know.
that, for this song. Oh, I'm
We
glad.
live in peace. We could
Glad
live
you
in
enjoyed it.
peace.
Oh, it's so nice to see Kathy in the room.
Yay.
Hey, Kathy. Oh, thanks, Sada. I love singing that song, too. Boy, what an amazing
We've
day
been
so
learning
far.
another one. We've been learning Grace Goes With Me
Oh,
lately.
Grace Goes With Me, and we have a surprise for you when we figure it all out, when we
I
get
know.
it all worked out.
But it's going to remain a surprise
It's
until we
gonna
figure it
remain.
all out. So there are surprises to come.
In store from
In
the 70s.
store, I know. There's a clue.
There's a clue.
I know, because we're old.
And I'm so gloriously glad.
I know. Because the other option is not getting old. And I want to get very, 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 very old.
Yeah, I just had a like a vision while I was taking a shower today of being 100 years old, and I'm like, huh. Now I haven't had that vision before, so I'm like, now that's very interesting. I saw myself on our land.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I just saw myself as 100 years old. So I'm just gonna hold that in the vision here.
Because we started planning for our Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, a trip to
Vermont.
Yes,
Yeah, we're gonna get. There's a sleigh ride.
We're gonna go take a sleigh
We're
ride
gonna
in the
take
snow.
a sleigh ride in the Vermont countryside.
Through. Oh, I just can't wait.
I know.
This is gonna be so much fun. Anyway, we'll tell you all about it later.
We'll probably video a bit of it.
We probably will.
Yeah, we're taking you along, fam. You know, that's what's gonna happen.
I know. So we have a lot to share. So
We do.
let's go to the workbook.
Okay.
But first, of course, we have to sing a little more.
I know you got a little bit of previous before, and this is I hear this less. I hear this differently. I hear this differently than when we first did it.
Me
So
too.
we've been saying this in our classes on Wednesday night for about 10 years, and it still is. It becomes more and more relevant. So see if you can. See if you can. See if you can memorize this with us.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's very wordy, but if you know the introduction to the workbook lessons, it's very cool. The introduction itself is a lesson in itself.
It's an orientation. So let's see if we can
share the audio.
Oh,
Yeah, share the audio.
Okay.
No.
hey.
This is to increase your ability, to extend the ideas you will be practicing, to include everything. This will require no effort on your part. The exercises themselves meet the conditions necessary for this kind of transfer. Some of the ideas the workbook presents you will find hard to believe, and others may seem to be quite startling. This does not matter.
You are merely asked to apply the ideas as you are directed to do.
Direction.
You are not asked to judge them at all. You are asked only to use them. It is their use that will give them meaning to you and will show you that they are true. Remember only this: you need not be leading ideas. You need not accept them. And you need not even welcome them. And some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. Do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains, and whatever your reaction to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required.
Use them.
Nothing more than that is required.
Use them.
Nothing more than that is required.
I know. Okay, so if you walk away with anything from that,
Nothing more than that is
the thing I love, the thing I love more and more, she says it like 3 times. It doesn't matter. You do it anyway, you know, and just use what happens.
Well, yeah, and
apply
I
the
mean,
ideas and use what happens. It's so.
it's gentle,
beautiful.
actually. It's
Yeah,
even
it's very
it's
gentle.
gentler than maybe the words actually sound, because none of this will matter. That's a release. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's a
And
welcome
it doesn't
release.
decrease their efficacy.
And see, here's a point that has been more and more in my awareness lately. You do not have to believe the ideas.
Well, we were talking about belief and knowledge the
Right.
other day, right? The difference between belief and knowledge. And belief isn't required.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know,
Sometimes belief gets in the way.
Okay.
And
you have
that's
to
what I'm
undo
finding.
beliefs.
Right.
We talk a lot around here about undoing beliefs. So, speaking of undoing beliefs, that's a lot about what the workbook contains. Today's the 30th, so we're not going to go. We're going to do a review of all 7 lessons that we haven't from last week. But I do want to bring us up to date from lesson 27 to lesson 30, because these first 50 lessons are the bomb. They are. There's people that just do the 50 lessons over and over and over again. We have a friend that just does the 50 lessons over and over and over again.
And they're really good.
Yep. So lesson 27. Remember what lesson 27 is? If you're reading along with us.
Above all else, I want to see.
That is an orientation, isn't it? Lesson 28. Above all else, I want to see differently.
She actually says, I want to see things differently.
Yeah.
Which is
Things.
Interesting.
The material.
Yeah.
See things differently.
Yeah.
Right?
The material manifestation.
In 29. God is in everything I see.
Ooh.
I know. It was that spacey, man.
But
so trippy.
But wait till today.
I know.
If you want to talk about spacey.
Today she lays it. She brings this idea one more step closer when she says, "God is in everything I see because
God is in my mind.
God is in my mind. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind."
And Glen reminded me today that the first time we ever read this lesson together, it blew my mind. And I was like, oh my God.
You made it do the painting.
I was walking around with God is in my, I was going, God is in my mind. I don't know why I had never really.
Well, we watch a lot of B
together.
movies. We love B horror movies.
And
Do you like old black and white horror movies and stuff like that? I think we're gonna watch the King of the Zombies tonight. Is what is on our thing on our rip. So, it's like folk, like they're just so arch and so funny. So with this in my mind, it just struck us as very arch and funny. So
and I created a painting around it.
You did.
But anyway, just to let all of those things resonate is just amazing.
God is in my mind.
God is in my mind.
I am determined to see. I am determined to see things differently. God is in my mind. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind.
Yeah.
God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. And I can rely on that. You know, I can work with that. Oh, what am I looking at? Am I upset? What am I working? Whatever your reactions to the ideas may be, use them. Be present to what's happening with us.
And I just got the insight, use your reactions, use them. Not only use the lessons, but use your reactions.
Yeah.
I mean, so much is becoming more clear.
It's so simple. We make it difficult, don't we? With our beliefs.
Yeah. But I believe this.
Yeah. I got that voice in my head. Do you have that voice? No. I can have that voice sometimes.
Well, I'm going to do something a little different for our meditation today because, like I said, I was so taken with Jacqueline's homily this morning that I wanted to bring some of the things she said into our meditation. And as meditation happens, we include everything in this meditation, everything we like and everything we don't like. And something I'm not particularly liking right now is all the noise going on outside.
I don't know whether you can hear it or not, but someone has decided to clean out all the trash cans in the backyard here, for our building. And so
we
they're
got some
scraping and doing around. I don't know whether you can hear that or not, but it sounds like there's people just okay.
It's okay. We're going to include it all.
I know, we're including all.
But I wanted to bring it to your attention in case you hear it because, that's funny. I love when we bring everything into our meditations. So
let things be exactly as they are.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ring the bell 3 times, breathe 3 times, and then I'm going to read a little bit from Jacqueline's, from the notes I took from Jacqueline's homily. Here we go. It is with great joy that we understand and acknowledge that we today, right here, right now, are co-creating a circle of unconditional love. And this unconditional love bubbles up within our hearts because that's where it starts. And what we are made of is this unconditional love. It bubbles up within us and spills out into our rooms and our buildings, our streets, our city, our states, our country, and our world. And this amazing circle of love that we are co-creating together, all living things, includes everything that we like and everything that we do not like. And today, as we bask in the absolute oneness and beauty and safety and glory of this circle of love, I'd like to reiterate and share a few things from Reverend Jacqueline Eckhart. Our task is not to awaken, but to be the expression of the awakening. God doesn't need my help. My task, to understand my relationship to the whole. I am whole. What is left for me to do? To decide how I will experience this inevitable unfolding of the atonement. Blessed be, and so it is. just to say a death.
Just to say a death.
Adenila nadana.
Adenila nadana.
Juga, 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 echo verse.
Juga, 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 echo verse.
Juga, echo verse. The knowledge of the universe is right before my very eyes. The knowledge of the universe lives and breathes and sings and sighs. The love that is life, the sacred mystery is here to guide me home, where my soul is free. A death to say a death.
A death to say a death.
Adenila nadanahat.
Adenila nadana.
Juga, 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 echo verse.
Juga, 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 echo verse.
Juga, echo verse. A death to say a death.
A death to say a death.
Adenila nadanahat.
Adenila nadana.
Juga, 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 echo verse.
Juga, 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 echo verse.
Juga, echo verse. All honor to the mysteries, whose attributes cannot be described. No end and no beginning. The dimension of the limitless. Love that is life. The sacred mystery is here to guide me home, where my soul is free. Yeah.
Boom,
Hi, Reverend
boom,
Jacqueline.
Boom, boom, boom.
I
Yay!
love you.
I know. We're here to go boom, 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 boom.
Wow. Wow. You know, I just feel so good today. We just were talking about your homily this morning.
Yeah, we
Reverend
were.
Jacqueline, and so appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
So appreciative.
And we're bringing up we're on chapter 3. Do you believe we're on chapter 3 of the Course in Miracles?
Already?
Already? Well, I don't know whether many people know this, but you can read A Course in Miracles in a year if you read 12.8 pages a week. I don't know if anybody knows that, but generally speaking, I try to take a section of that because the lessons track with the text, so we're all like often talking about the same thing, or the same thing in even different ways of speaking. Different ways of understanding this concept. Because we revisit the Course in Miracles every year, and I have a different understanding every year because I come at it from a different place every year because I'm not the same. My understanding has grown.
Yeah.
So I want to offer. So the first chapter is a description, in the way I understand the Course in Miracles. The first chapter is often a description of the way the world actually is. The way it's very good. The first chapter is a really good standalone sections on how the world exists. The second chapter describes the problem, like why we mistake everything in the first chapter, why we get so much from the first chapter. The third chapter is shorter, but it talks about the way we construct the meaning of existence, like why we think we're here, how we construct or how we work a general mindset about how we can approach the world, our understanding of the world, material existence, our own feelings, you work with the ideas and you work with what comes up, right? So what is the orientation? What kind of mindset or way of being could we develop that would help us navigate between those two things, right? Because it says nothing real can be threatened,
right?
Nothing unreal exists. And chapter 3 is
herein lies the peace of God.
Herein lies the peace of God. Exactly. So
I'm glad.
How do we create the orientation to be able to see the world as God is in my mind? So God is in my mind. So how could I see? And she begins to talk about developing vision.
Oh yeah.
And in A
absolutely.
Course in Miracles, that is the perspective of the divinity within us, or the way the Course calls it, the Christ mind, right? So what are we doing? How do we develop or look at or develop a perspective where we're looking through the eyes of Christ? We're the Christ mind. So
can I ask one
yeah.
thing? Well, Kathy just put in the chat only in the blue book, and I'm wondering if that is what we're using. We use the blue book, so I don't know if you use a different
Foundation for
translation or anything like that, but we are reading from the blue book. Yeah, it's the classic foundation.
Yes, the Foundation for Inner Peace.
Yeah,
yep.
Just to make sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I lay out the chapters this way because this is how I understand it. And so this is so I don't know of anybody else who looks at it this way, but it's how my mind organizes it. So I'm going to organize it that way. So trigger warning. We're going to remember last time we talked about the apocalypse.
Oh, here's another trigger for you.
We're going to talk about the devil tonight.
Woo! Oh, Meg just joined us.
Devil.
Glad to have you, Meg. We're about to start an interesting, triggering conversation, perhaps.
And we're going to go over the origin stories.
Oh, cool.
Right? The origin, the Garden of Eden story.
Oh,
We're going to look at that metaphor, and we're going to look at what the devil is.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So, I know. And
that's why I wore red today.
I know. I try to, when she wears red, all the, things happen. And I had my booster shot today at 11:40 today. So I'm all high on boosters.
Jacqueline says all hell breaks loose.
All hell breaks loose. So let me share this image with you because
it's so cool.
It's really kind of fun. So. I think portion of the screen.
Okay,
Yeah, there
there
it is.
you go.
Okay. Do you see this?
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah. Yeah, they can see.
Yeah. You know who
Show
that
the
is?
portion.
You know who that is?
Well, won't you stop it? And we'll see.
Right.
If anybody...
That's the devil.
Somebody
right.
put something in the chat
Okay.
there.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll help
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
So, so this is actually a costume design for Mephistopheles character in the opera Faust. Oh, wow. You know, so if you want to get some really good ideas for costuming, it's a real fantastic costuming. Just look up the costume designs for the Faust and Mephistopheles. An interesting tidbit. I only dressed up as one thing for Halloween from the time I could choose until my parents said you can't go Halloweening anymore. I only ever dressed up as one thing for Halloween.
What might that have been, pray tell? Could it have been the devil?
The devil. My dad's a preacher, right? My dad's a Southern Baptist preacher. So what do you think his oldest son was going to dress up as Halloween? Just
that's
asking
funny.
you.
What did he have to say about that?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, that was good. At least
No,
you didn't.
so I wore these. I wore a bodysuit and I had a cape and I had horns and I had a staff and everything like that.
Oh,
my mother did the makeup on me and everything like that. You know, looking. Yeah. So I loved the idea of the devil as a kid. I have a different understanding now, so let me share that with you. This is from chapter 3. Chapter 3 is called the innocent perception. See, that's the mind that she's asking us to develop. Our own innocence, to see the world through our own innocence, through the eyes of Christ, through the God is in my mind. I am determined to see things differently, right? As an innocent person. And so this is the last section 7. Section 7. This is the last section in chapter 3, and it's called Creating versus the Self-Image. So you're gonna really like this if you watched Jacqueline's homily. So would you read it's really short. Would you read the first paragraph?
Sure.
Yolanda?
Okay, here we go. Every system of thought must have a starting point. It begins with either a making or a creating, a difference we have already discussed. Their resemblance lies in their power as foundations. Their difference lies in what rests upon them. Both are cornerstones for systems of belief by which one lives. Wow. It is a mistake to believe that a thought system based on lies is weak. Nothing made by a child of God is without power. It is essential to realize this because otherwise you will be unable to escape from the prison you have made.
Yeah, there's the prison. She talks about the prison in our own mind. So she offers a contrast. So what mind are you going to live in? What mindset are you going to do? Are we going to develop? And she says you can build your mind on two different corners. You can build your mind on whatever cornerstone that you like. Even if it's lies, you can build your life on lies. You really, really, really can. And some of us have spent a lot of times building a life on lies, and then we bottom out, and then something happens, and we have to realize that we've placed belief where it doesn't belong. Okay, so the difference lies in what rests upon them, the foundation that builds from either you're building on lies or you're building on the truth. Or what is real. It would be the Course of Miracles, and the way that even Paul describes this in the New Testament when he's writing, I believe when he's writing to the Corinthians, when he says, "Don't build your church on sand, right? Yeah. Build your church on the rock. Build your church on something that is solid." Which is the same basic idea here. And she says, if you don't, you're going to build a prison instead of a liberation. To liberating your mind, you're going to imprison your mind. So she says, this is the foundation of the Course in Miracles. So these are powerful foundations. We're creating them. These are systems of belief. Belief versus faith. We've talked a lot about that, right? Faith is like, I'm going to work with what is to have the experience of reality. Belief is something that I have to keep creating and proving. right? And striving for. This is the difference between making and creating. Because making is illusion. It's all on me. I have to do it. It's all in my power. And it's only maintained because I have the energy and stuff to do it. So this is creating versus making versus creating. Creating, like Jacqueline was saying, that she goes, I don't have to do anything for this creation to happen. I have to get in the flow. Says, I'm not creating reality. I can experience reality and participate with it, but if I have to create something to create it, then I'm building on a foundation in which restricts my mind. Right? So she underlines this about how powerful you are. I want to make sure we all understand that we're very, very powerful. Nothing made by the child of God is without power. So taking responsibility for the workings of our own mind, taking responsibility for our ability to make suffering and to make what we do not want. Together. We can get together with friends and organizations and create awful systems in which perpetuate our suffering. I don't have to go into that. We can recognize that immediately. So read what I've highlighted in the next sentence.
I will, but let's go back to the room and see if we had any comments. Oh, there's 2 new comments.
Okay.
She's
so good at this. She's so good at this.
I know. I want to see. Oh, hi, George.
I know, George. If the comments are George has arrived.
George.
Okay,
I love it. All right, so here we go. You cannot resolve the authority problem by depreciating the power of your mind. Wow.
There it is.
That's a good one. You cannot resolve the authority problem by depreciating the power of your mind. To do so is to deceive yourself. And this will hurt you because you really understand the strength of the mind. Then she goes on to talk about the devil, quote unquote. The devil, quote unquote, is a frightening concept because he seems to be extremely powerful and extremely active. He is perceived as a force in combat with God, battling God for possession of his creation.
Read the whole rest. It's simple.
The devil deceives by lies and builds kingdoms in which everything is in direct opposition to God, yet he attracts men rather than repels them, and they are willing to sell him their souls in return for gifts of no real worth. This makes absolutely no sense.
Or does it?
Oh my goodness.
The devil is the way she describes it here, is the opposition. As opposition, as something that we wrestle. Have you seen that our famous graphic where the devil and Jesus,
are arm
Jesus
wrestling?
and are arm wrestling for your soul? Right, the system that God can lose, or that you can lose, or that we can lose, or not get it right, or get it so bad that we're gonna be sent to hell and like suffer forever because we didn't do something right in material existence. She please understand that this is a senseless idea, but it does build a foundation of a prison. Because then you have to be good enough. Right? Then you have to comply. Then you have to be good enough or holy enough or something. Okay? This is the resolution of the authority problem. Right? The authority problem. Author. Who made you? Who's making? Where'd you come from? Who are your people, as they say in our neck of the woods? When you meet somebody new, you go, "Who are your people?"
That's
who are your people?
What they say in my hometown. It's
who you come from? Who do you say I am? Right. So this is resolving the authority problem. Who's in charge? Who's making the decisions? Who's building the foundations of our thought systems, of our outlook on the world? This is an understanding of the use and misuse of the power of our mind. And now we can discover how we're using our minds by being honest about our own self-talk.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Do you talk to yourself?
Yeah.
Do you talk back to yourself?
I do, actually.
Right? Yeah. So the attraction, this is the attraction, the devil, this foundation on beliefs that aren't true. You cannot make them true. You have to keep making them. So they aren't inherently true. You have to keep making them. That's what belief is. This is the attraction of illusion. It's the attraction of hiding. It's the attraction of darkness. It's the attraction of non-existence. It's the attraction of ignorance. And those are things that are gifts of no real value.
Yeah.
Right? Gifts of no real value. And that's how where self-talk comes in. Do we recognize a gift of no real value? Do we recognize the foundation? When we're offered a gift, do we recognize the foundation that it's coming from, or the soil that it's growing out of, or if we recognize the flower, do we recognize the plant that it's coming, the biology that's producing it? Okay. Those are just promises of the world. The promise that a material existence is going to satisfy us, and it never will. The promise is that it will. Eventually, I'll have a big enough home.
Right. Yeah.
I'll have, I'll have, a 12-pack abs, right? I'll have abs. I'll have hair. My case. I will be beautiful enough, rich enough, whatever, so that I'll be safe and valuable, and worthy, and I'll get into heaven, right? So this is the foundation that she says, recognize these as no gifts of no real value. It's absurd if we look at it on its face. This is the system of the devil, the belief in the devil that actually can win, actually is an opposing force. So read the next bit.
Okay, let's see if there are any comments, and we invite your comments. If
Yeah,
you
we
have
do.
them.
We do.
Who's
Your
your daddy?
Exactly. I love that. I know.
That's great. All right, let's see. The separation is a system of thought real enough in time, though not in eternity. All beliefs are real to the believer. All beliefs are real to the believer.
So don't argue.
Yeah.
It's the argue. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm talking about myself here. So it's like, oh my God, I want to argue with people. I really do. The symbolism here.
The symbolism here has been given many interpretations, but you may be sure that any interpretation that sees either God or his creations as capable of destroying their own purpose is in error.
Right. You can thrown in the lake of fire, for example.
Right.
Okay. So then she talks. So this is where she gives you the metaphor of the Garden of Eden. She brings you to the Garden of Eden, where we first meet the devil in the Bible, right? So read this.
This is very funny. Eating of the fruit of the tree of knowledge is a symbolic expression for usurping the ability for self-creating.
Authorship. Go ahead.
Knowledge cannot deceive, but perception can. You can perceive yourself as self-creating, but you cannot do more than believe it. You cannot make it true.
Right.
You still believe you are an image of your own making. That is why you cannot create and are filled with fear about what you make.
Woo! Woo!
Wow.
I know. Somebody talked to me about politics.
Oh, no, let's not right now.
So this is why you can't. This is why you cannot create and are filled with fear about what you make.
About what you make.
Because you still believe. I still believe that I'm making this. I'm making myself. And again, this is the making or creation of a self. Which foundation are we going to build our outlook on? On our sense of innocence on? Are we choosing innocence, or are we choosing a prison? Those are how she contrasts this. And the fall is a metaphor of the separation. This is the belief that we have created ourselves. And she says, don't worry, it's only true in time. It's only true in a past and a future that has to happen in a certain way. And this is where she talks about, she makes a reference to forbidden knowledge, and that there being no such thing as forbidden knowledge. Knowledge actually heals.
Right.
Knowledge is the truth. Knowledge never deceives. So this is like the apple, or the eating, or the finding out the knowledge is like stealing the formula for creation, right? That can't happen. That can't. The perception we have will either deceive us or show us our own ignorance. It will show us the illusion. The perception, our own perception, will show us the illusion, or it will help us continue to be deceived by our own minds. Because we didn't create ourselves, solving the authorship problem. We're not creating ourselves. So this begs us, remember we're talking about self-talk? This begs for skills development, to be able to recognize, oh, I'm building the prison instead of building my innocence, right? So this is the need, the way we experience it in the culture often is the need to become. The need to become something, right? This is the self-invented man. Right. This is what I've begun to call expression versus performance. Now, like not artistic performance,
right?
Because that's art. But this is my expression, letting my expression happen versus the performance of a Glen in order to get something and manipulate the world so that I'm safe and you like me and I can get in. I know, Jesus as the bouncer for heaven. You have to know God. You have to know Jesus in order to get into heaven. So it's like, this is the integrity versus compliance. Because the world is going to ask your compliance to the belief system that builds prisons. That's to belief in the material existence is going to offer you anything that you want. That's the devil's bargain. That's what we sell our souls for, which is also ridiculous. Ridiculous. This is again, she introduces this idea of a split mind. She doesn't say this yet, Holy Spirit versus the devil, but this is the systems that she's going to sign out and that we're going to continue exploring through the rest of the year. It's creating with what is whole, creating with what is complete, or we're making everything. We have to make
With
everything. We have
effort,
to efforting and striving and need to become. I'm not enough. I can't have. If I was only. If this person had,
Right.
There's endless. If the belief that that you can get it wrong and that somebody can oppose you and stop you from experiencing the will of God, then you've created a devil.
Right.
That's the belief in a devil, not even a devil, because that can't even exist anyway. So, as we see, that's the that's the method. And the name, yes, and remember, Kathy reminds us the name Lucifer literally means light bearer. Lucifer, fur bearing light. So even when we get it wrong, it could be showing us where the light is. Even the direction of our suffering points to our awakening. If you want to have that mind, if you want to be able to catch yourself in, that's the foundation of pleasure or meaning and worth and all that from material existence. She's just asking you to catch yourself.
Yeah, I want to point out too that because this was really cool. Jacqueline said the devil is the thought of not God.
Yeah, not God. Something that could be not God, which is again,
it's impossible.
Forgot to laugh, right? Forgot to laugh. I know. It's a joke. No. All right,
here we go.
Almost done.
The mind can make the belief in separation
very real
and very fearful, and this belief is the devil.
There you go.
There we go. Look at your life and see what the devil has made.
I think that's practically a song lyric.
Oh, definitely. Your creation by God is the only foundation that cannot be shaken because the light is in it. Your starting point is truth, and you must return to your beginning.
The foundation of what is actually real.
Exactly.
And I am not efforting it. I am not creating it. I am participating in the expression of this creation, and I'm not performing so that I can have access to it.
Right.
Do you understand? I'm not performing to have access to God. I don't have to wear the right clothes or have the right haircut or any of that in order for truth to be available to me, reality to be available to me. I must begin to build my mind and build my vision on the foundations of what is actually true. That my mind is powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
And that I can choose, that I'm choosing my experience about whether I'm going to express the love of God or I'm going to self-make myself. Right.
Which is what today's lesson is so important.
Right.
I mean, like, the mind is powerful. So to remember that God is in my mind.
Yeah. So the devil as the belief in separation, to examine all the beliefs that separate and limit and minimize and restrict. our true foundation is in truth, and it actually can't be shaken. It's actually very reliable. Return to the beginning, right? Return to our origins. Return to the authorship. Return to the act of creation. Return to the Garden of Eden. You can say this a million different ways. It's the part of our self is still at peace. Part of our self is still at peace, she says. So giving up the separation kind of does look like a death. It looks like a separation because it's like, what? You're telling me that Glen isn't here? No. Glen's the art form. So that's where we're working with. So I'm not making it. I didn't make this. I'm not making it. I can't make it. I can participate with what created it. So read this last bit, and we're going to conclude the lesson.
Yeah. Okay. The branch that bears no fruit will be cut off and will wither away.
Remember that?
Then she says, be glad.
Yeah.
The light will shine from the true foundation of life, and your own thought system will stand corrected. Yes. The world is not left by death, but by truth. And truth can be known by all those for whom the kingdom was created and for whom it waits.
Right. For choosing it, waiting for us to choose it. The world is not left by death, but by truth. The truth is the opposite of death. Things that can die are things that have never lived. So this is the foundation of life. This is where we're life living with the one creation. Like Jacqueline says, there's only one thing happening here.
Yeah.
Turn away from separation. You don't have to take action
On the devil's
on the devil's idea. You don't have to take action on the devil's ideas. Just say, "Oh no,
thanks.
I know where that's going. Or I'm not going to participate in it, even if you're afraid and still believe, because your belief isn't more powerful than the truth."
Right.
To be saved from material existence looks like death. To be saved from the belief that the material existence is how we're going to find all meaning and love and everything in the world. To move away from that thought system feels like we're dying. Feels like I can't be happy because we're so in it. So things that can coexist with things that she talks about, things that can coexist or not coexist with reality. And this is the contrast we should be able to begin to see. She's going to say, you're going to begin to see these if you're going to be able to look on the foundations that you're building in your life, whether you're building on life or you're building on death. Are you building on light or are you building on darkness? Are you building with knowledge or are you building with perception? Building these outlooks we have on our mind, so that she gives us a bit of advice. Use each other to build the foundations that you want. Use one another, and my understanding and your understanding, to build the foundation that we can build on, because it's more reliable when there's more God in the room. There can't really be more God in the room, but
Right.
there's more interaction. Like I want to believe what you're saying because it's going to relieve my suffering. It's a proper use of belief. So building the kingdom is not of this world. Building the kingdom is not a thing. The kingdom that we're building together is the real thing. About building in relationship. So the truth can only be known and is known by abandoning the foundation of separation. So there we have it. Abandoning the foundation of separation. So discover the devil in your own mind. The part of you that believes that the material existence is the selling you things in order to make you happy. Right? That's the
Wow.
So
Well, that was fun.
Well, you're in a church. You're in church with a
Indeed.
2-drink minimum. So we're trying to have fun here. I'm your favorite anarchist preacher, and this is the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda.
Whee, cheers. All right, I'm going to play a song for you. Yeah, I've certainly played this before, but however, I found a new video of it from when we used to perform at the East Village club called Sidewalk. And so I posted it on Facebook right before we got online today with y'all. And within 10 minutes, one of my friends responded to this video and wrote this beautiful poem. So I want to share this poem before we play it. I think we have time here. And he goes like this. He says, "We are blessed just being here, so let us rest and have no fear. When we sing as with one voice, joy we will bring. This is our choice. The universe is our only home. Paths we traverse won't be alone. May happiness, peace, and delight each one bless. It is our right. a common bond we all share. Just look beyond skin, sin, and hair. We are blessed, children of God, each one on a quest, perfect, not flawed. Let the Spirit show us the way as we draw near it each time we pray. I am blessed by God and you, so all my best is yours too. Ladies and gentlemen, I am blessed. And we're going to sing a little song about how blessed we all are. Oh, it's breezy. Oh, yes, it's a breezy song. Okay, here we go. Let's keep it breezy. I am blessed as the child of God. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am a child of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars. I have a right to be here. And the universe wants my happiness, perfect joy and contentment. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am
Hey, little bossa nova there for you on a 24-degree day.
All right, giving up the mic. Thank you for joining us. We're staying for something genuine.
Thank you.